Last night, the Prime Minister had an unusual press conference in which he laid out his plans for the future. Here for analysis is Yoni Kaminski. Shalom, Yoni.
Shalom, Aaron.
So, Yoni, what exactly happened last night?
Well, Prime Minister Olmert suddenly called a press conference. The press was actually only informed of the conference about 2 hours before it began. What was going to be said was kept in the strictest secrecy. This was one time there were no leaks to the press until the event itself, although everyone knew what was going to happen. After a short introduction lauding the work of his administration, the premier drops the bombshell, stating the plans for his political future, and he intends to resign when a new leader of the Kadima party is chosen.
החלטתי כי לא אתמודד בפריימריז של תנועת קדימה. כמו כן, אין בכוונתי להתערב בבחירות הפנימיות
I have decided not to take part in the Kadima primaries, nor will I intervene in them. When a new party leader is chosen, I will resign in order to enable him or her to form a new government.
באתי רק לומר מעט ממה שרובץ על ליבי חודשים רבים.
Now, practically speaking, that means it's only a matter of time until Olmert is out of office. So what will the future bring?
Well, it will take some time. First of all, who will be running the government in 2 months is very unclear, as Kadima primaries have begun heating up with the two front-runners, Foreign Minister Tzipi Livni and Transportation Minister Shaul Mufaz, officially and unofficially campaigning for months. While initially Livni looked like a shoe-in for party chief, Mufaz has been burnishing his hawk credentials, attacking possible concessions by Olmert on the Golan and calling for stronger action against terrorism, while Livni, perhaps because she viewed her victory as inevitable, was largely keeping her head down, though that has recently changed with the foreign minister openly and publicly attacking Olmert. But it seems Livni has waited too long, and her once formidable lead against the transportation minister has largely evaporated. And the two Kadima party frontrunners are neck and neck in the polls. Now, Olmert has been relatively open in that he prefers Shaul Mufaz as the next prime minister. There was speculation that Mufaz would be appointed acting premier, with Olmert taking a leave of absence or resigning immediately. The problem is, for an acting premier to take office, he would need Knesset approval, which Mufaz probably wouldn't be able to get. So whoever wins the Kadima primaries will head the largest party. Under Israeli law, the largest party is supposed to form a government. If that proves impossible, within 42 days, that's already a long time, new elections will be called 90 days later. If new elections were called, the Likud headed by Bibi Netanyahu would almost certainly come out the strongest party, leading to a government most likely not involving Kadima. We have to understand that throughout this whole period of time, Ehud Olmert will still be the prime minister.
So the term of Prime Minister Olmert is coming to an end. Did the premier take responsibility for the failures of his administration, the Second Lebanon War, the failure to rescue the soldiers?
Not really. Olmert's speech had a hurt, almost angry feeling to it. The premier seemed to feel he had done a fine job leading the nation, but a campaign was being waged against him, and he was resigning for the good of the nation as an altruistic act. Let's listen.
אך כל בר דעת יבין שהדברים יצאו מכל פרופורציה.
I have always had to defend myself from attacks. I am the prime minister, and therefore an address for political attacks. But everyone knows that it has gone out of control. Have I made mistakes? Certainly, I have, and I regret them. But I deserve to be treated as innocent until proven guilty. Yet, this has not happened.
לחזקת החפות, בהיעדר היכולת להציג אותה, בעיצומו של תהליך כפוי, שבו חובה עליי לשתוק.
What kind of response have we been getting from the political sector?
The responses have been very mixed, but what has been noticeably absent are calls for Olmert to stay in office. While Olmert's allies called the prime minister brave and praised the move, his opponents, both within and outside Kadima, were much harsher. Among the first reactions was Foreign Minister Tzipi Livni, who had very harsh words for the Prime Minister, declaring his term in office to have been a farce, and that Olmert should have reached this current conclusion 6 months ago. Shaul Mufaz, who is close to the Premier personally, if not politically, called the move brave, and MK Aryeh Eldad declared Olmert to have been the worst leader in Israel's history. The most thoughtful response was from MK Eitan Kabel of Labor, who stated that forming an alternative government would be difficult under the current circumstances, with Likud calling outright for new elections, which the Likud, will probably win.
And Yoni, this is a very unusual move. What prompted Olmert to resign rather than try to hold on to power?
Well, it has to be understood that Olmert is currently under 4 different police investigations: the Talansky cash envelopes, the Crimea Street house, the double billing for trips, and alleged intervention in an investment center decision for a close friend. Following revelations in the cash envelope case, the Labour Party pressured the Premier to quit, and the bill to dissolve the government was only defeated by the literal last-minute reversal on the part of Labour to oppose the bill. But this support from Labour came at the price of Olmert agreeing to internal elections in the Kadima party. While it was never stated outright, it was always strongly implied that Olmert would not participate in these elections. So the Prime Minister essentially agreed to an indirect resignation.
Yoni, thank you very much.